Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a while since I have uploaded anything onto this channel. I was forced to take a break from doing YouTube videos and Instagram posts and to pause that because it was exams time over at the university right now, or at least in the last 2 weeks. And I thought I could push it through and keep everything going, but it didn't work out. And it was a very stressful time. I had also some health issues, and that stress coming out that way. So I decided and was forced to take a break and pause so that I'm not, too extremely overworked or overwork myself and maybe I have even harder health issues or worse health issues. So that was going on. Now that the exams are over, I have finally time to, do videos, do posts, do the things that I love, and work with the things that I love, which are tarot and oracle cards, which are my crystals, and all that spiritual stuff. And which is also doing YouTube videos and doing content for my social media accounts, Instagram, this YouTube channel, my German speaking YouTube channel. I love doing this stuff and I really missed it. So I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. And I hope you will enjoy what I have planned for this channel. Of course, there will be the typical content, my crystal portrait series, my journey through and quickie with series that I do on weekend. Um, and also at the beginning of the month, the thank you next, at the end of the month, the crystal reflection. But I've also planned doing more stuff, new content, doing some VRs that I wanted to do for a long time or that I have seen quite recently going around on TarotTube. And that's what I'm starting here today, since I have free time right now until the next until it starts again on the university. I have time to do all this stuff. So today I started to do the first VR, and that is a VR to the hashtag major favorites. I have seen this one um I guess 1 week ago, probably, or less than 1 week ago, over at Jane's Tarot YouTube channel. And I loved the idea, so I thought, well, why don't you just hop over on YouTube in front of the camera and do a VR as well? So this is what we're going to do today. First, this hashtag was created by Toadstool Tarot, I believe. I will have a link in the video description to the video that I saw from HazelJane, and also when I can find it to the original where everything started over at Toadstool Tarot. I know that I'm late to the party, but it is what it is, and now I have time to do it, so I will, even if it's late. Better late than never. And I also thought that while I do the major favorites, I will also do minor favorites as well and create a follow-up hashtag to that. I don't know if there is anything like that out there, but why only focus all the time on the majors when we also have the minor suits? which are in total more, even more cards than the majors are. So I will do follow-ups for, it will probably be 2 videos for my major minor favorites as well. So keep watching and keep following me so that you don't miss those. So back to the content. Now that I'm already babbling for 5.5 minutes, it's just not working. Me and short videos, it's not working. I tried. So starting with the Fool, and the Fool, as you probably can guess by the backing, is from the HazelJane Tarot. That's my favorite Fool card. Um, I just love the idea. It's, you're not seeing a lot of the typical or traditional details or symbols in here. You're not seeing the dog. You're not necessarily seeing a cliff. You're not seeing the back or anything like that. But I just love the idea that it's an older man, not a young innocent, maybe even naive person, but an older man that has lived a life, that has been through the journey to a lot or many journeys throughout his life, that has gathered experiences and knowledge and wisdom, but he's still in that he's still going on a new journey, even for him, after he has gone through a lot of other journeys. And he found that childlike spirit in him, that joy, um, that ease, that adventurous kind of spirit in him. And I love that. I love the older depiction, that untraditional depiction of the Fool as like an old man, because of that, because it shows us that the Fool isn't necessarily on his first journey, but just on another new journey, and that he has some experiences, but he needs to find that inner joy, that spark, that adventurous spirit, that childlike spirit. He needs to find that and open up for new experiences, even though he had some experiences in the past that maybe were difficult at times. And I just love that. And it's quite unique. It's the only Fool that I have seen in this with this depiction of an older man, and I just love it. So that is my favorite Fool card. The favorite magician comes from the Lightseers Tarot. I just love this depiction. I love the artwork of the Lightseers Tarot. I love that art style. And I love, you still have all the 4 elements, which I love to see in a magician card, that he has some representation of the 4 elements, that he can, yeah, um, that he can pull energy from, that he can use and access. But I love that it's not your traditional wand, cup, sword, and pentacle, but it's the elemental symbol. I love that you have this whole spiral of energy down there, almost looks like a portal into another universe, into another world, maybe the lower world, the upper world, drawing the energy from the universe around us. Um, Especially with those colors, it really looks like you are looking at a picture from the universe, from the galaxy out there, that ever moving life force, life energy, the 4 elements. You get a sense that he is maybe even giving some energy into that and then receiving some energy into that. So you have that cycle as well. You still have the traditional infinity symbol. You still have a lot of yellow in the background. I love that he's sitting calm and almost like in a meditative pose. He's found his center. He trusts himself. There's no need to be nervous or anything like that. And he trusts in the universe and that he has everything that he needs. So, and he's grounded as well. So I really love that. But he's still focused on one thing, which I also like. So my favorite high priestess, I already talked about her in a video that I did. I believe it was part of the 31 Days of Tarot challenge or series. And it hasn't changed. It's still from the Prisma Visions Tarot, and it's this one. I just love this High Priestess card. The High Priestess card for me is a really important card. It's a card that that it's important to me, that I really love. I love when she comes up in readings. I love the different depictions. I love the meanings and everything behind this card. And it was the first card that really stood out to me, even out of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. I loved her. And so the High Priestess is a card that I always will look at when I look at a new tarot deck and consider buying it. And this one is my favorite. I love that you have the water. I love to see water in my High Priestess cards. I love to see the moon in my High Priestess cards. You still have that. I love when there's a little bit of a mystery factor in here, and you definitely get that because you only see her legs and her lower part of the body, so you don't really get an association who she really is. Um, but I also love that it almost looks like she was down there, really down in the depth of the water and has risen up, or and she's able and she has mastered what's down there. She can access the two worlds, on the surface and below the surface. I love that the pomegranates are here. I love that she walks so effortlessly on that subconscious realm. So I really love everything about that depiction. So next up, the Empress card, and this is from the Brits Third Eye Tarot. I don't know, I just love this depiction. I love her expression, her facial expression. I love that loving, content, happy, um, that loving, content, happy expression in her face. I love that her eyes are closed, or maybe she's looking down in what she created and what she will bring to life into the world. I love her loving energy, how she cares about that, which isn't fully created yet. I love her hair. I love that you have still the stars that you have normally in her crown, which is a symbol for the 12 zodiac signs. I love all the flowers, you have that abundance, but I really love her posture and her facial expression. That loving, content, confident, secure, um, happy, calm energy that I get from her. So that is that. For the Emperor, I went with the Shadowscapes Tarot. I love that he's still colored or still dressed in red, because red is the typical color for the Emperor, for Aries, for fiery energy, for masculine energy. Um, I love that we have the Ankh symbol here. I love that you have those acorn leaves, I believe they are, which is a nod to the Green Man, that masculine nature-based energy, the ruler of the wild side of our humankind, the ruler of nature, of Earth, the masculine ruler. I love that we have these antlers, which is also a pretty earthy thing, but also a ruler thing. I love that you have a little bit of armor right here, so that not to warrior, to defending, to fighting. Um, then you have all these different things. You still have the Aries association here. You have the Eagle association, or at least the Bird of Prey association up here, which you often see on Emperor cards. You have a Green Man association right here. You have the duality of Sun and Moon. So you have that sun and mountain structurally energy that you get often with masculine energy with Emperor, but you also have the moon and the more round shaped, soft shaped, feminine energy in the Emperor card, which I love. And I love that he is rooted, that stable rootedness, that trust, that groundedness, so that he's not, yeah, staying grounded, and staying humble, even though you have that power, and also that growth that comes out of a stable structure of stability. It really works for the Emperor, and he is creating or holding what seems like a dragon in the sphere, the dragon energy of wisdom, um, of ancient wisdom, actually. So I really like that. Then for the Hierophant, I went with the Spacious Tarot. I just love that simple standing stone circle for the Hierophant. And that shadows, I mean, standing stones, they are so fascinating to us. They have such an energy to them and such a fascination for a lot of us. And there's still riddles that we haven't solved until now about why they build them that way, how they build them. Um, and it's like we can learn from the past. We are developed further. Um, and we have our own things, but we can also look back and learn from the past, and find that fascinating even. And even with our further development, we can't explain how they even did that in the past with what they had at that time. So I really like that. So it really speaks to that tradition, to learning from the past, to learning from past generations, but also developing forward. And yeah, honor that what was back then in the past. I also love that we have the duality of the moon and the sun. Um, yeah, so I really like that. And also the standing stones are like um, holding up for a long, long time. Maybe even a little bit of erosion here and there, but are still standing after such a long time out in nature. So, changing, but still to the core, yeah, holding up, and don't give up. Just stand there over time, hold your ground. So I love that as well. So now we're on to the lovers, and this is from the HazelJane Tarot. I have already talked about my favorite lovers card as well. I can remember that. I think it was also in the 31 Days of Tarot challenge by Anthony that I participated in. And there I talked about all the symbols and why I love it. I just love it because I love how they are entwined or in each other. They're almost like one. You can't necessarily, especially up here, see where one ends and the other one begins. I love that they're gender neutral. You can't really see which gender they are. I love the red thread as the third element, binding them together. Um, yeah, so I really love that. And that you're naked as well, that decision to that you need to make in order to open up and build a relationship and grow together is to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and to let somebody in. So I really like everything about that. I talk about this in depth in that video. As I said, when you're interested, go watch for that. I think it's in the playlist for the 31 Days of Tarot. And I think there must be my favorite lovers card or something in the title, so it has to be easily found. But if I talk too long about each and every card, this video is going to be over an hour long. So the Chariot from the Major Tarot. I love that you have the depiction of wolves here. Wolves are a big thing for me. I work with them, their energy um, regularly. So, and I feel quite connected to them. I love that you still have that duality of light and dark. I love that you have four rules instead of two. So, for the four elements, the four directions. I love that you don't see anything, a leash or anything like that in here. She is controlling them with her will, with her belief in herself, with her focus. I love that the charioteer here is older, she is experienced. Um, she knows what she wants and what she needs to do to reach that. Um, and to make wise decisions, to trust in herself. I love that her heart chakra yeah, is the focus point here with that rose almost like here. So I really like that. And she almost looks like she could be a wolf with her hair as well. So I really like that. My favorite strength card, I decided to go with the Bad Bitches Tarot and this strength card. I really love the fact that they are working together, that they have this bond where they really walking together on the same path, wanting the same, and walking side by side, having their back, um, and being really focused on their goal, on what they want, not giving up or whatever the case it is, they are focused and they are determined and they are walking alongside each other, and I really love that. Then for the Hermit card, I think is next. It is the Prisma Visions again. I just love this depiction. I love that forest, that river going down here, that little bridge that connects the two land masses, the full moon and the starry sky. And there's actually a person here and a lantern, so that is your hermit. I really love that. I just love how it looks. It has everything you need in terms of what the hermit stands for. You have your lantern, you have that lone person out in nature, finding its yeah, his or her wisdom and walking his own path. And I love that connection to the water, that emotional inner landscape, that intuitive landscape, the moon. So I really like that. And I mean, it's just amazing, an amazing piece of art. I love it. Then for the Wheel of Fortune, I went with the Spacious Tarot. I just love when wheels are simple, when you see a change in here. I love that you have the ever spiraling spiral here, moving upwards or downwards, um, that you can't control. You have that change symbolized in the seasons that we all experience and that will never stop. They are here and we can't control them. So I really like that. It's simple, but it has everything that I need to read the Wheel of Fortune, and it's beautiful. Then for the Justice card, I think I went with the Light Seers Tarot. I really like that you have that duality aspect, as above, so below, that sense of universal karma. You have the traditional scales, but you also have the sword, which is really important for me. Almost more important than the scales, actually, that justice has a sword or something to cut through all the mist, all the unclear path, cut to the truth. Um, and without any subjective preferences or any emotion standing in the way, because that is what justice taught me, what I experienced the energy of justice in my life, and what I connect with her, and where I really could connect with that card and the meaning, because I have pulled a justice card, and that was what happened. She cut to the truth, and yeah, even though it was hurtful, because I didn't want to see the truth at that time because of emotional reasons, it was necessary, and she freed me from that. um yeah, and I love that her eyes are closed up here but open down here, so it's almost like with her intuition she sees clearly, and she doesn't let herself be blinded by worldly matters or physical matters or anything like that. And she looks pretty powerful, pretty regal, but also pretty calm as well. So another card from the Spacious Tarot is the Hanged Man, which I really like. I had one or two that were more on the traditional side, where you really see a hanged man upside down, hanging there, and they were beautiful. But I really like this unique depiction of the hanged man or the hanged one in here, because it really gives you an aha moment of like, wow, it really gives you another perspective on our lives here on Earth itself, and on some problems as well, because it really gives you that sense of how tiny are we in that whole galaxies and universe that is out there. So I really like that, and it's pretty unique as well. Then for the death card, I went with the Caesar Beetle again. I just love this depiction. I love that you have that skull right here, but it almost looks like it is faded. Um, I love that you have the new growth of the plants. I love how she lies here, her eyes closed. It's just something about it that I really love, that really gets me every time I see this card. Then for the Temperance card, I went with the Shadowscapes Tarot again. What I love to see in my Temperance cards is really the blending of two opposite forces. And oftentimes in Temperance card, you see them mixing from one cup into another, but you can't really see that there are two different things in there. It's almost just water pouring it from one cup into the other. I really love to see mixing fire with water, or two different colored liquids or anything like that. So you really see that opposite forces mixed and blended within, bringing them together to create something new. And you really see that here with the orange and the blue, fire and water, dragons here rising up, making that yin and yang symbol with a little bit of water in the fire, a little bit of fire in the water, in that perfect balance. So I really like that. I like that Temperance herself looks pretty calm and patient and focused on her task. Um, so that is why I picked that Temperance card. Then for the Devil, this was a hard one for me, but I picked the Dark Mansions Tarot. I love the Sesrobido, or in Brits, a third eye, that concept of looking in the mirror or being faced by a human being. Because oftentimes there is no devil. We create a devil to put our um, not so good things and habits onto something else, and to not being responsible for that. But oftentimes we ourselves are responsible for that, and the power to change something lies within our own hands and not within something else. So I love those two, but I went with this one. I just love how badass she looks. I love that red dress. I love her temptation aspect. I love that she's just chilling in here pretty confidently, enjoying herself with a glass of wine. I love the antlers, her wings, and I love those two skeleton beings being chained, and their posture is like, but they could, I mean, come on. It's like their choice to stay with her until their time was up. So yeah, I just love this depiction. I love her, how badass she looks. And it almost seems like her hair is like roots or something, which I really like. That being bound by earthly matters, by wanting more physical stuff. So, next up, the Tower card from the Shadowscapes Tarot. What I love in here is like, I love when the tower is actually something like a tree or something nature based. And I also love to see the destruction and force of the lightning striking in here. But I also love to see that up here everything is being broken, is yeah, messed up, but that the base is still workable, it's still there, so you can build up again. And that is what you have in this card. You have an intact base, and it's just up here that got struck from the lightning. So I like that. Then for the star, I decided to go with the Spacious Tarot again because I love gazing at stars, at night skies, clear night skies where you really can see the stars in spaces where, or on places where you really can see all the stars, where it's not much of city lightning or anything like that, because in the city you can see some of them and it's already looking gorgeous. But when you're out in the forest where not much is happening and you look up there, you it's breathtaking how many stars you're not seeing because of the lightning in all the cities and towns and stuff. So it's absolutely amazing. And yeah, I just love that simple depiction. I mean, the starry sky, the stars up there in the universe are beautiful enough and they're guiding us. We can orient us on them. So there's not anything else that you need in a star card than a beautiful sky of stars, full of stars. Then for the moon, I went with the Lightseers Tarot again. I just love seeing a beautiful full moon here without a face in it. I love having the wolves howling or dog and the wolves. You have the duality of black and white into them, so you don't need any pillars. And I love having the service, and instead of the lobster crawling out, you have her fully in her emotions underneath the surface, what's going on inside herself, what's going on underneath the surface, um, and fully diving into that and experiencing that. And yeah, I love how she flows. Her dress and her hair is flowing in the water. It almost seems like she's just experiencing it and letting it happen. So I really love that. Then for the sun, I went with the Brits Third Eye Tarot again. I just love seeing this. I mean, you not necessarily see the sun with like a circle and the sun rays coming out, but you get that fiery, warm, hot, um, pure energy of the sun, and that is what I want to see in my sun cards. No faces in the suns, no babies on horses. I want to see that power of the sun, that fiery energy, that light that is shining into the darkness that brings us clarity, that warmth that can warm us, that can bring us confidence and happiness and joy, but also that power of being too hot. And we really get that. Um, Almost looking like here you're fully into your emotions and now you're rising back up and everything starts to get clear and you can see clearly and being confident enough because of that to walking your own path, to being authentic, to show yourself to the world, um, and to get active and enjoy life. So I really like that. For judgment, I went with the Spacious Tarot again. I just love this depiction. I love when judgment is not traditionally depicted as like an angel, um, doing the call and all the people rising up from their graves. I can work with that. It's not horrible, but I love when it's a little bit more abstract. Like you're going on your path, and then you have this portal of like either you have the new choice to leave the past behind after you have learned from that and go onto a new adventure, go into a new onto a new path, or you're coming out from that portal into a new world when you decide to leave the past behind, to move on, to recognize where you want to go, where you're at, what brought you there, what you need to change, and all of that stuff, and transform through that portal of recognizing that and working through that, so that you can step out into a new adventure, into a new life, renewed and refreshed. So I just loved it. I have some other decks that have similar things. I think the Prisma Visions also has like a portal or a door that is opened. In the Circle Tarot, there's like a portal where these beings coming out and walking on the path. But this was artistically the one that spoke, that I just love. I love the colors. I love how they depicted it. And last but not least, the World card. And I went with Brit's Third Eye Tarot again. I love that you have that feminine figure here. I love her hair. And in that, you have that whole universe around us, all the planets that influence our life here on Earth. You have Earth and her holding it in her hand, almost like Gaia. Um, yeah, and everything. I just love the world. That figure that holds it up, she is naked, but she is, yeah, caring about that. And I love that you have all these other planets that influence us, that are surrounding us. Almost more like a universe card than a world card, but I just love it. So this was it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, um, yeah, that you just enjoyed watching it, that you could get something out of this video. I know it is a long one. I try to shorten up my videos, but I think it's just not happening with me. I ramble too long about stuff. So let me know down in the comments if you also did this video or what your favorite major arcana cards are. Also, don't hesitate to give me feedback, as long as it's not personal, hurtful, or harmful in any way. I'm open to that. And yeah, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see what I have in store for you guys, what I have planned for you guys, and if you want to see the follow-ups to this, because there will be my major minor favorites as well, split it up into 2 videos. Otherwise that would be a 2-hour long video and I don't want that. So watch out for that. It will come, they will upload, or I will upload them soon in the, yeah, in the following days, I think. And also thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing or for being subscribed. I really appreciate all of you. And until next time, you guys, bye.